Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad-Bhagavatam, 4th Canto, Chapter 9, text number, previous text only will do, last part of the purport, text 29. Maitre Uvacha Matuhu Sapatnya Vagbhane Hridhi Vidastu Tan Smaran Nechan Mukti Pater Muktim Tasmatapam Upeyuvan. Maitreya answered, Dhruva Maharaj's heart, which was pierced by the arrows of the harsh words of his stepmother, was greatly aggrieved. And thus, when he fixed upon his goal of life, he did not forget her misbehavior. He did not demand actual liberation from this material world. But at the end of his devotion service, when the Supreme Personality of Godhead appeared before him, he was simply ashamed of the material demands he had in his mind. Last part of the purport. Sense gratification means domination over material nature. The whole competition between conditioned souls is based upon domination of this material nature. Modern scientists are proud of their knowledge because they are discovering new methods to dominate the laws of material nature. They think that this is the advancement of human civilization. The more they can dominate the material laws, the more advanced they think they are. Dhruva Maharaj's propensity in the beginning was like that. He wanted to dominate this material world in a greater position than Lord Brahma. Therefore, elsewhere it is described that after appearance of the Lord, when Dhruva Maharaj thought and compared his determination to his final reward, he realized that he had wanted a few particles of broken glass, but instead had received many diamonds. As soon as he saw the Supreme Personality of Godhead face to face, he immediately became conscious of the unimportance of his demand from the Lord to have an exalted position better than Lord Brahma's. When Dhruva Maharaj became situated on the Vasudeva platform, due to seeing the Lord face to face, all his material contamination was cleared. Thus he became ashamed of what his demands were and what he had achieved. He was very much ashamed to think that although he had gone to Madhuvana, giving up the kingdom of his father, and he had gotten a spiritual master like Narada Muni, he was still thinking of revenge against his stepmother and wanted to occupy a exalted post within this material world. These were the causes for his moroseness, even after he received all the desired benedictions from the Lord. When Dhruva Maharaj factually saw the Supreme Personality of Godhead, there was no question of a revengeful attitude towards stepmother or any aspiration to lord it over the material world. But the Supreme Personality of Godhead is so kind that he knew that Dhruva Maharaj wanted these. Speaking before Dhruva Maharaj, he used the word Vedaham because when Dhruva Maharaj demanded material benefits, the Lord was present within his heart and so knew everything. The Lord always knows everything. A man is thinking. Everything that a man is thinking. That is confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita. Vedaham samatitaita. The Lord fulfilled all Dhruva Maharaj's desires. His revengeful attitude towards his stepmother and stepbrother was satisfied. His desire for a more exalted position and that of his great-grandfather was also fulfilled. And all at the same time his eternal position in Dhruva Loka was fixed. Although Dhruva Maharaj's achievement of an eternal planet was not conceived of by him, Krishna thought, what will Dhruva do with an exalted position within the material world? Therefore he gave Dhruva Maharaj opportunity to rule this material world for 36,000 years with unchanging senses and the chance to perform great sacrifices and thus became the most reputed king within this material world. And after finishing with all his material enjoyment, Dhruva would be promoted to the spiritual world, which includes the Dhruva Loka. So Dhruva Maharaj, he felt that he wanted a few particles of broken glass, but instead he had received many diamonds. And not only that, as soon as he saw face to face the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he completely gave up all other aspirations. Everything became unimportant for him. The most important thing was the Supreme Lord. So we can see that by positive association of the Supreme Lord, one can automatically lose taste for all inferior things. And this is the way the inferior things are to which we are conditioned, or the inferior association of the three modes of material nature to which we are conditioned, can be given up only by positive attraction to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So this is important for us to understand. Yesterday we discussed about mixed devotional service, where there is some kind of a self-motivation or motivation for oneself, or there is a self-serving attitude still lingering in the living entity, instead of Krishna-serving attitude, self-serving attitude. And that is lingering till we become a pure devotee, because that is the conditional force with which we have received this particular body. When we take birth, not only this body, even within the subtle body, there is accumulation of millions and millions of lives of karma bija. So they all have a push. And these karma bijas are all created. Starting point is material desire, fruitive desire. So to fulfill those fruitive desires, you need punya. So all this, completely this seeds of future life is created by our past life, past desires and all those things, and they are accumulated and they are sitting within, even now. Even though we have become devotees of the Lord, our subtle body, all those seeds are sitting there. Only at the time of death, by the mercy of Guru, all those things are burnt. Now it is sitting there, but it will not sprout. Because of the force of devotion service, the seed will be there, but it will not sprout. Only what will sprout is this life's prarabdha karma. If you take our total karma bija, maybe we have done enough things for another billion lives to enjoy the sukha and dukkha of all those things. That much that's called sanchita karma. It is there in our subtle body. But out of that, a few set of seeds are allowed to sprout in the beginning of each body. That is called prarabdha karma. So those things, the force of prarabdha karma is coming into action in different degrees, in different varieties, at different times, as I explained yesterday. And that force is there, even in the devotee's mind, devotee's chittam, that force is there. But now his entire, having, as we explained yesterday, having surrendered to the spiritual master, not only your body and the mind, you surrendered all everything about yourself. That means your chittam is also surrendered. And then after that we follow whatever the spiritual master says, and for their benefit. What is the opposite of fruitive attitude? Fruitive attitude is for my benefit, for my pleasure, for my sense gratification, for my interest. But when after we surrender to our spiritual master, all the assets that we have, assets and liabilities, all sinful activities are liabilities. Punya is assets. All assets and liabilities, body, everything together is surrendered to spiritual master. That is the meaning of life. Life is equal to body, mind, your karma. You surrender ourselves to spiritual master. And then transcendentally, by his mercy, a surrendered disciple is guided by the spiritual master. All the forces that he has due to his karma, they are all dovetailed for the interest of Guru, and Guru's only interest is Krishna. So the moment our karmic forces are directed towards the pleasure of Guru and Krishna, it is no longer a karmic force. We have to understand this. Devotees who are surrendered to the spiritual master are not governed by karma, but they utilize the karma. They are not governed by their karma, but they utilize the karma. They are not limited by their karma, but they utilize the karma. In our karma, if we are not serving the Lord, our karma will only deliver that much result that you are entitled to enjoy. But now, for Krishna's work, you dovetail your karma, then you will see that the result is not for you. So you see that beyond the karma, beyond your karmic ability, the devotee is able to do so many things for Prabhupada and Krishna. So therefore we have to understand that when devotees are engaged in devotional service of the Lord, one should not simply think that, oh, this is all he has got good karma, so like that, all these kind of interpretations. It matters, it is a pattern, but your service is not limited to that. Suppose a certain kind of activity for the Supreme Lord requires 100 units of jnana, 100 units of bhala, 100 units of kriya. And let us say then you want to do a service which requires this much jnana, bhala and kriya. And according to your own karmic force, if you are not a devotee, your body, your mind and everything, its capacity may be 2 units of jnana, 5 units of bhala and 5 units of kriya. Everything in the material world is achieved by the power of jnana, bhala and kriya. To move matter from situation A to situation B, you need jnana, bhala and kriya. For instance, you want to build a temple, then you need to add jnana, bhala, kriya to cement that is there somewhere, steel that is there somewhere, architect somewhere, all these architect, you need jnana. You need a jnana, buy best cheap material where to buy. You need bhala, financial bhala, where you get money from. You need kriya, you need people who expertly put the tiles, all these things, do the wiring. Skill is required. Anybody cannot do the wiring. Skill is required. So jnana, bhala and kriya is required. An empty plot is there. One building comes up. Empty plot plus jnana, bhala, kriya is equal to building. Now, when you want to make your own building, then only your jnana bala kriya will come out. Whatever karma shakti you have. Karma. Right? And when you do for Krishna, then, as I said, your jnana bala kriya may be 2 out of 100 jnana you have. You have 5 out of 100 bala or 0.5 out of 100 bala. Like that. But then at the end of the day, when you do this, when devotee does his service, no doubt his 2% is used, his 0.5% is or 5% is used, whatever he has, because it is surrendered to Prabhupada and Krishna. So Prabhupada utilizes that. That is one meaning, I want to serve Prabhupada, I want to serve Prabhupada. Means whatever you have, best of your ability, you offer to Prabhupada. And Prabhupada and Krishna will put all deficit that is required, whatever shortage that is required, he will take and he will allow us to complete the seva, provided when and how he will decide when to complete the seva. Because it is his work. He has got 100 reasons how to do, what to do, all those things he will decide. So the point being mentioned, even yesterday I discussed this, the point I was saying is that devotees are not, it's not that one side you are doing your sadhana and in your day-to-day activities 10 to 5, only your karma is there and that is what you are giving to Krishna. You may be giving your karma, what you have only you can give, you are giving to Krishna. But what is happening to you, your life, the result of your activities, everything is much, much beyond karma. Because it is not by the force of karma. There is no force of karma in that sense. Prabhupada gave the example of how the cat carries the kitten between the teeth, and it also, between the same teeth, it also crushes the rat. So you may see a cat running with a rat within its grip of its teeth. You may see a cat running with a kitten. Both are from the grip of the teeth. What is the attitude of the cat towards the kitten? Love. What is the attitude of cat towards the rat? Kala. Not prema. Kala. So, that is Kala cat. So we should never think that the devotee's life, karmic patterns are there. Each one of us are different. But you should understand that that force is gone. Now given to Krishna means it is prema. Krishna will utilize. One should not, if one simply believes that I am limited by my karma in my service to the Lord, then you will be, according to your faith, ye tamam prapatyate tapsate bhajame. You will only be that only. You will not go beyond it. But if you have Shraddha, that yes, I want to do something, for my Guru has ordered me to do something, let me do it, but I don't have capacity to do it. How can I do it? No, if the Guru's order has come, your whatever karma bala, your karma shakti is there, plus whatever deficit is there, also comes from Guru and Krishna, and then you will execute it. Just like the Brahmana, Guru told all of them, please study Bhagavad Gita, read Bhagavad Gita. The example of the Leela of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Srirangam. So one disciple, he did not know how to read and write. Guru told him that you read Bhagavad Gita. Told me to read, so let me take a book, let me read. He was keeping upside down. But simply the thought that Bhagavad Gita conversation between the Lord, who acts as a chariot driver of his devotee, that thought gave him so much bhavana, he was having tears in his eyes. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came and embraced him. He said, yes, yeah, you understood Bhagavad Gita. So he did not think, I cannot read, I cannot write. He did not think. The Guru told me, whatever possible way, at least I can hold the book. I cannot read the book, but I can hold the book. Up to whatever I can follow, I will follow. Immediately the Lord gave him the devotion. Super Soul gave the devotion within his heart. He was enjoying Bhagavad Gita more than all the others who were reading there. So he got a result which is different from what is his karmic destiny. Is his own jnanic strength? No. So like this, devotee's life from morning till night, 24 hours, is connected to Krishna. Not only sadhana. Because he surrendered himself to the Lord, he should have full faith that Prabhupada and Krishna is in charge of my life. I should do my best every time to engage, to follow their instruction and engage in their devotional service. Then one is not, limited by his karmic strength. Even if one finds limited, he thinks it is Krishna's mercy. Maybe some health he is not able to do some service. Okay, Krishna's mercy. Why is this Krishna's mercy? Because ultimately everything is handled by the Lord. I try for good health. But if you don't get good health, what can I do? Maybe Krishna has a plan. You should not think this is my karma. Even Krishna cannot change. Sometimes you think like that. Karma, devotion says, okay, karma, nobody can change. No. Karma, Krishna can change like this. So you should believe that Krishna can change karma, but he is not changing the karma. Krishna can, but he is not changing the karma. Once you know that Krishna personally is aware and is not changing the karma, humko kya jata hai, Krishna. I am his. He wants to change now, he changes. He doesn't change. It's all right. The devotee is surrendered to the will of the Lord and engages in devotional service. So, what we were telling, another point that we are saying is here, very important thing, is, we'll come back to that the way to overcome sense gratification, the way to overcome independent, lauding nature, etc., for a devotee is little different from the way jnanis, karmis, they all try to elevate themselves. How is it different? We immerse into the positive. We don't wait for becoming pure devotee to perform devotional service. We don't become pure in order to chant Hare Krishna. We chant Hare Krishna and become pure. We do devotion service and then become. We chant impurely and become pure. We do devotion service impurely and become pure. From impure you go to the pure. But our attitude should be to go to the pure. Impure I cannot help, I am impure, what can I do? Today my chanting is like that, I am impure, what can I do? But I will try to decrease my impurity, decrease my offenses, and I will chant. And this is the way one will gradually progress. That is why it is said that even if one is offensive to chanting, inattentive chanting, offensive, chanting with material attachments, but still you chant. On the order of Guru, you chant. And then you become purified. How do you become purified? Because chanting is direct association with Krishna. Devotion service is direct activity, the final activity that the living entity is constitutionally meant for. That activity you are doing now. Motivation may be different, but that activity you are doing now. Motivation may be mixed. Slowly the motivation will become pure. So, usually somebody will say, Prabhu, I heard about the 10 offenses of chanting. I don't think I can chant. I'll be making offenses. Let me first, prepare myself so I don't make 10 offenses. Then I will chant. Not possible. As long as you are trying to decrease your offense, there is no point in being negative about it. Oh, I have sense gratification, I have this, I have that. No, you try to decrease it, everybody has sense gratification. Here is the example of Dhruva Maharaj. As Prabhupada says, such a nice spiritual master he has got. In spite of that, he is having material desire. Because he is repenting as soon as he saw the Lord. These leelas are meant to show us that we also should be very careful. Why should I have any material desire? Prabhupada wants us to give us pure devotion service. Wants to give us pure loving devotion service to the transcendental supreme, Sarva Karna Karnam, Krishna and Srimati Radharani. That is what he wants to give us. Why should I have any other desire? Like Prabhupada said, one life you risk, I'll take you back. So when that is the case, by reading these leelas, one will think, this unnecessarily I'll delay going back to Godhead. Now 33,000 years he has to wait. Who? Dhruva Maharaj. No? 36,000 years to wait. So similarly, we are initiated by Prabhupada. If you stuck, material desires will be, like bija, it will come and go. But if somebody is stuck with something, especially interpersonal, in this case what happened? Interpersonal. Revenge against his mother. These are all contaminated things. It's nothing to do with the soul. But you have to take life. You have to, in order to burn out that experience of your desire, you have to take birth. So that is the difficulty with, sometimes people say, what is wrong with the illusion? Illusion is also okay. After illusion, then I'll go back to Godhead. And then it'll illusion also okay. Why illusion is not okay? Because you lose yourself. That is not you. Illusion means illusory life. That means you are not the one who is living that. You're hunted. Suppose a ghost enters your body and the ghost lives his life in that body. We will say this person is haunted. That means he is not living his life. Similarly, in the material life, we are not living our life. Sense gratification means false ego's life. Imagination. So we're losing Krishna, losing real life. That is the difficulty with this illusion. You can't have illusion and Krishna together. The foolishness. So our choice, our real fundamental choice of the living entity is to choose either Krishna's association or Triguna association. Karanam gunasangasya. You associate with gunas or you associate with Krishna. Once you associate with gunas, Like in the material world, everybody thinks I have free will. No, you have free will to be within the gunas. A karmi doesn't have a free will to go back to Godhead. A karmi has a free will to create more karma within the. But a devotee has free will to go to Krishna or not, to take spiritual path or not. That is actual soul's free will. So soul's free will is to always choose association of Krishna as against association of three gunas. Three gunas means no Krishna. Either no Krishna association or Krishna association. Either serving Krishna or self-serving. The moment self-serving, you have to serve a false self. Because I am not meant for self-serving. My nature is Jivera Surupoe Nityara Krishna Das. My constitution is that I cannot be an independent self. It's not possible. I am what I am. The soul is what I am. The soul means Dasa of Krishna. Cannot be independent. Independent means again, you have to, it is only imagination. That's why it's called false ego. It's an imagination. That's why it's called Maya, not true. Our lives of karma are not true life. They're all Maya. You come as something, some bodily ego, then you die. Between so much drama you do. And then again another life, but the soul is not, soul is sleeping. Because soul is what? Serving, has to serve Krishna, is servant of Krishna. Any questions? So struggle in spiritual life for Vaishnavas means continuously struggling to fight against the modes not independently. Continuously trying to look towards Krishna. You have a problem, chant Hare Krishna, don't solve the problem. If you have a problem, you chant Hare Krishna and then solve the problem. I have a spiritual problem, Prabhu. I'll solve this and then I'll chant Hare Krishna. No. I have a spiritual problem. I will chant Hare Krishna. Then I will solve the problem. Then, material problem has to be solved ultimately through a material medium. That material medium I will solve. But that solution will come from Krishna. Where is my primary faith? Primary faith is not in material nature, material abilities. Primary faith is in Krishna. You want to do some devotion service. Primary faith for your Jnana Bala Kriya is in Krishna, not in your ability. Your nittle Jnana, nittle Karma, all those things. No. Your focus is, so primary is that. So God helps those who help themselves, we say. So those who help themselves means, my nittle, I had to surrender. And then everything that is required ultimately, the Lord only does. Not that I do 2% and He does 92%. No. You give 2%, He will add 98%, 100% He will do. Or you think that I give 2%, I take 98 from Krishna and I will do 100%. You see the difference? Huh? Prakrite kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvasha ahankara vimudhatma kartaham manyate. Even the 2% you are surrendering that 2% to Krishna. And under Krishna, mayadekshena prakriti suyate sachara. By the direction of super soul, the 100% prakriti is doing.
Harishna.
Yeah.
Prabhu, in the case of Dhruva Maharaj, the trigger for him to approach Supreme Personality of Godhead is the insult what happened by stepmother. The same trigger only is causing him to not to...
The same?
The same trigger, like that revengeful attitude what he developed only helped him to approach the Supreme Lord. At the same time, the same reason only causing him to delay the going back to Godhead.
Right.
And in the case of Parikshit Maharaj, when he got cursed, he has because he's a saintly king, he can able to introspect himself that, the Supreme Lord sanction, I should just consult Brahmanas what to do next. But in the case of Dhruva Maharaj, he's a small boy. He also is ignorant about what to do. But that trigger helped him to approach. So as a neophyte devotee, he may not be having a knowledge like what to do next. So most of the time, ignorantly they will respond to the situations. So it is like an injustice to the that devotee. That
how injustice? How can it be injustice? Each living entity is so complicated that the super soul is seated within the heart, and he devises ways and means by which he repeatedly gives chance to the devotee to come to purer devotion service. Krishna, like Prabhupada, he saw whatever little good was there in the devotees, and he engaged them in Krishna's service. He did not see, okay, they should all become Pakka Vaishnavas. Nothing. He just, little faith they had, he engaged them. And this whole movement is built out of, such people who had no background of Krishna consciousness. Nothing. Whatever little they had, Prabhupada encouraged them, because whatever little Krishna consciousness or interest in Krishna, that is a light coming from the soul. So Prabhupada lit that, and that burnt out all the other things, and they became pure Vaishnavas. To dedicate one's life to Prabhupada, in spite of all your sense gratification, is like becoming a pure Vaishnava, in one sense. One level of purity it is. To do nothing in the life, morning to evening, other than Krishna's work, is not a small thing. So, whether Parikshit's case, how he came to absorb himself in Bhagavatam, or whether Dhruva Maharaj's case, where revenge was a starting point, these are all things that individual case to case, the Lord makes this arrangement for the devotees. We cannot make any general rule out of it. Our tendency is like that. Our tendency is try to find what is general rule. So it's very unfair then. Both the desire is there, and then you are blaming his desire. Desire only brought him to see Lord face to face. No desire. So what I should do? There should be a clear path. God should give a clear path. Unfair. All speculations. Case by case, the Lord makes so many arrangements for devotees. Chaturvida bhajante mam, Krishna says. Varieties. In that Chaturvida, there are so many varieties. Why one comes to Krishna consciousness? What pushes him to Krishna consciousness? But afterwards, what does Krishna say? Eventually, all of them become pure by touch of Krishna. Mike.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, you said assets and liabilities, once we surrender to spiritual master. Suppose a devotee, new joinee is there. He has lot of liabilities, loan is there, or parents are not good, health is not good. So he surrenders, sarva dharman parityaja. Preacher said, and he surrendered. So what happens to their parents who are cursing him, relatives are cursing him, society is saying, they are going to medias.
All that liability Prabhupada will take.
So the parents will go back
karmic liability. Of course, they will get so much benefit. For every tear of the parent of the devotee who joins Krishna consciousness movement, the cause is Prabhupada and Krishna. If something in somebody's life, Prabhupada and Krishna is a cause, what will be the phala? Externally it may look like tears. Maybe millions of lives of, Papa karma is being burnt out from the parents' life. They are getting cleansed and getting ready to get liberated in this very life. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, 7 generations, before and after, they all get liberated. These are all fact. Karma gets all neutralized. Everybody suffers due to karma only, no?
My question is, what should be the mindset of the devotee who have joined? You should not worry, or you should pray to the Lord, or what should be his consciousness?
He should absorb in Prabhupada and Krishna's service. Whatever if he has to do, he can do. Without disturbing his service, whatever I have to do, I will do. We're not saying that. But my heart will not come away from Prabhupada and Krishna's service. I will support whatever I can. For our own sense gratification, we should not say, no, I won't talk to them, I don't do this, all these kind of things. You should become strong and talk to them. Keep in touch with them. We are not taken sannyas. Afterwards, you're a little mature, you chant Hare Krishna. Yeah, there also you have to be careful, but you can visit, give them association. Instead of going there and taking association, try to make them devotees. Not that we are heartless. Vaishnavas are not heartless. But they don't want to, if somebody is in the well, if I can save, I'll go down and pick them up. If I cannot save right now, if I jump into the well, I will also be in the well. So what will you do? What is the intelligent thing? At least I am outside. Let me get a little stronger. Tell them, be in the well some more time, I'll come. And you pick them up. Make the parents chant. Ultimately, they know Krishna is behind them. Krishna is protecting them. No, now itself I want to jump. You also be there. You won't come back to ashram. You get stuck there. Srimad-Bhagavatam ki jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai.